An individual that I have a lot of respect for, Mr. Charlemagne the God, right? I guess his government name, Leonard McKelvey. Born out of South Carolina. What I like about him, he made something out of nothing. I was going to get his book from Barnes and Nobles. And with this individual, man, he's just making like little controversial topics. You really, be digging into interviewers and rappers, and he has no chill for the most part with stuff that he say. But what I like about him is that a lot of things, when he give people like Donkey of the Day, I would say 85% of it is legit, and he's pretty much spice up the news a lot, man, especially in the hip hop industry. And he talks about, man, we just need more doctors, and need more lawyers. We need more productive people in society instead of all these rappers or these little yachties. He was just making jokes and stuff, and he was just calling it how it is. He's talking about how he used to love hip hop, Scarface, and Ghostface Killer, the Wu-Tang Clan, and just many individuals, man. They just made an impact in the hip hop industry that's influenced the black culture in the past, man. And I think he's in his late 30s. I want to say, man, he has a wife. He works really hard, gets up like 4 o'clock in the morning, man, do interviews. I have a lot of respect for him when he did an interview with Kanye West, and this guy shows no fear. That's what I like about him. He's tenacious, as you want to say. He's very tenacious, man, and he's continuing to perfect his craft each and every single day. I love when a black man does that, because it gives me inspiration to always be consistent in what you do, love what you do, and just be a part of something great. And this dude who never had a college degree, I think he took some college classes in radio, but he still remained persistent and made himself, as a good radio host, even though he hosted some shows that it went down and not too many people gave him a shot. And he just kept moving forward. And so you gotta love the tenacious about him. And some people don't like Charlemagne the God because he's just very, like, some people think he's ignorant, but I think this guy is very intelligent. Wrote a book as well. I think he wrote like 2 books, man. So he's going up there. But I really wanted to, it's into my heart to really talk about this case a little bit, because I guess, I know it's a little old, but this happened in 2001, and allegedly they say he raped a woman. Now, he denied the fact that he raped this 15-year-old woman when he was 22 years old. He did admit the fact that he hosted a party, okay, and this 15-year-old came. So you have to ask yourself, who was with this 15-year-old? Why is this 15-year-old going to like some type of college party or some type of someone that's 20-something years old, like an adult party? This is a minor. Like, should she be at home studying, reading, going to sleep, preparing for the next day? Why are you going to a party like that? You have no business doing. And I'm not justifying that if this thing's happened, but he denied the fact that he didn't do it, and that, which is good, because I feel like I don't think he did do it. And you got the Me Too movement that's going behind it, and they stating the fact they want his career to be done. Now, if this saying has happened, my thing is, I don't understand, like, if you get raped or something happened to you, why are you waiting years or even 2 weeks or some matter of sort for for you to come out and get that person to get justice, regardless if he has money or not? My thing is that if something happened to you right then and now, you're going to be proactive, and you do what you can to get justice right then and there. That's my thing. Why you reopen the case stuff that happens like so many years ago, okay, to individuals? And I feel like, this is the sitting trend that's going on to black communities, the black families, and the black men. Remember, they're going against the agenda to attack successful black men, and it just got me thinking that you have to be very mindful of the things that you do and things that you say, because things can come up to you for many years from now, especially if you're on that platform and you're very influential, because you got individuals that do nothing in their lives and they want you to be miserable like them. Misery loves company. You get what I'm saying? And her mother, I guess Jessica Reed's mother, was saying like, well, I didn't want her to cooperate with the prosecutor because she was already suffering. This defeats the purpose. It doesn't make any sense. Things are not adding up, and I don't want Charlemagne the God's job to be in jeopardy. I don't want it to be eliminated. I don't want him not, what I'm saying, just get fired from the Breakfast Club, because they already signed a petition. I think they got over 3,000 signatures, man. It's freaking ridiculous. They got so many signatures for prosecuting this man to lose his job. Now me, I watch the Breakfast Club every now and then. It's not like if they have someone interesting that they're interviewing that I really like or haven't heard from in a while, and I want their perspective on things that's going on in the world. And yeah, I go in here and tune it in. But I just like when Charlemagne be doing, like he be saying, like, biblical verses, man. Faith without works is dead. I mean, he just called the BS, the things that's going on, and I feel like as a man, like, especially with little evidence, the Me Too movement cannot go with that. They just go by emotions, man. Oh, you can say anything that happened like 4,000 years ago. Oh, well, yeah, you right, he did it, and it probably never happened. Have no little evidence, man. And well, what I like to say about this, that the case is not going to be reopened because they don't have a plea or anything. They're not going to reopen this. They don't have too many witnesses of this, and it just makes you just mindful. And I feel like the Me Too movement is really going to distance themselves from structural and functional families, and this might cause other brothers to look elsewhere, for love. And I think any black woman that's supporting the Me Too movement should be ashamed of themselves, man, a little bit, because especially if it's not practical. You know what I'm saying? If you're just going to the fact that you're just going by emotions, say, okay, this individual said this, he's doing this 10, 15 years ago, he should be prosecuted for what he's done. I mean, with little to no evidence. Now, I want to say the bad part about this is that I did some research with Mr. Charlemagne the God in 2015 when he was with the Brilliant Idiots podcast on YouTube. Very successful podcast. I like it, man. For the most part, they're very comical. I used to watch it a lot. I want to say like a couple years ago, consistently, faithfully. And Evan Schultz, they just talk about just off the wall things. But Charlemagne was going to detail that he date rape or he had sex with some woman, okay, I want to say allegedly, but he had sex with some woman on Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And this was like, in 2015, he had sex with her and everything. And I'm sorry, this happened in 2013. He had sex with her and all that stuff, man. And he said he got Spanish fly. Spanish fly is like a little drug. It's like a little sex drug. I guess it makes you relax in a way, and then you just give in to the sex, I guess, in a way. It just relaxes your muscles. So he bought some Spanish fly, put it in her drink, and he said before they agreed to have sex, okay? And he said, they had sex, and she was incoherent, and she didn't understand. She didn't know what was going on after she woke up. But it was some other individuals that wanted to run a train on her, and he denied it. He's like, no, don't go here and run a train on her. This is just me and one-on-one. Don't do this to this young woman. Don't take advantage of her like that. And I respect that, but in the case that they may use that against him, for fornicating in a way, because they say, see, look at him, what kind of man of stature or character for doing that? You had sex with someone at Myrtle Beach, you could put Spanish fly and Evan Schultz. And I was wondering with this too, like, why would you put, if you want to have sex with someone and they agree to it, why would you go out your way to go to a sex store and get a sex drug? So they can be relaxed. I mean, I feel like, me personally, if I want to have sex with someone, I want them to be coherent. With my girlfriend, so I want them to be coherent. I don't want you to be incoherent. I mean, I just like having sex with someone that's dead. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't get the feel. That's a spiritual thing. So I want you to be awake. I want you to understand. I want you to see if I'm moving the positions right, if I'm doing it right. Like, feel it. I want you to remember it. Have some memory of it. I want you to be like, oh, well, I guess he did have sex with me. Okay, let's move on. But after that, she said, I'm glad it was you. And he told her, like, yeah, what happened last night? And he was like, well, we had sex. But my thing is, his response was, well, I'm a cool mother, I'm a freaky mother effer. That's why I end up getting the date drug. I'm just like, okay. But, you want to put yourself in that position. And I just hope they don't use that against them, because that was on the Brilliant podcast in 2015. But, I don't want Charlemagne, man, to lose his job for this, dog. Like, he's already on Larry King. He had a talk with DJ Academics, but I mean, it's so many people that likes him and doesn't like him. But I don't know. Maybe he still might have his job on the Breakfast Club, because I believe he is generating a lot of views. The CEO is looking into the Breakfast Club. He doesn't own the Breakfast Club, and I think he does have any other investments as well. But I believe Charlemagne the God is a very intelligent brother, and I think like I say, he's a millionaire, and the money's just really rolling in, and he's just very consistent on his craft. And I just hate for his hard work to be tarnished, man, for something that he didn't do. Let's just say he didn't do way back then. I mean, because you gotta understand, I feel like if a woman especially agreed to have sex with you, especially out of age, and you do it, have sex with her, that's not rape. But if you do it against her will, without her knowledge, and you have sexual relations with her, and if she wasn't comfortable with that, then that's rape. You know, we had to understand, you know, that definition and that action. But yeah, man, you know, with the Evan Schultz, man, and we're gonna miss the brilliant idiots. I mean, if this really, if you really been prosecuted, if the Me Too movement gets on fire, at least, you know, it's, I don't know, it might hurt the Breakfast Club. But then again, too, the Breakfast Club they gotta find a replacement. They gotta look into all those avenues. They're like, man, well, he been here for years for us. You know, I mean, people been tuning in, maybe just because of Charlemagne the God. He be helping with dating advice with Angela Yee. He developed great relationships. I mean, he works really hard, and we kind of need him to be that anchor. But if he's gone, you know, our money's gonna be a little short, a little bit. So we you know, we might we might anger a lot of fans, a lot of black men, and people might not want to even come on the show. So all because of that petition, I don't know, man. They probably gonna really be cautious about that, just for saying, you know, oh, we just gonna fire. No. So I think he's still gonna be in here in the morning, you know, interviewing, doing his job, doing what he can to be very successful. But I just want to, you know, put my 2 cents on this. I just feel like, you know, Charlemagne needs to be kind of just be careful, man. And I just understand, like, the things that you do in the past, man, it gets me thinking. In Galatians chapter 2 verse 20 say, you know, I'm not, you know, my flesh not alive, you know what I'm saying, you know, I'm sacrificed myself, and I am made alive through Christ. And it gets me thinking and broaden my perspective that we gotta walk in the spirit and not fulfill the lust of the flesh, and going to Galatians chapter 6 verse 17, you know. And I know it's gonna be hard, you know. You gotta do away with the fornication, you gotta do away with the covetousness, do away with the adultery, you know, the evilness and the passions and the desires of this world. Separate ourselves from this world. We got to be that shining light. That's always it. But first seek my kingdom, pursue righteousness, and all those things will be given to you. You know, so, you know, as Christians, you know, we gotta separate ourselves from the world, because if things that you love the world, or you do things in the world that's pleasing to you, that's hatred towards your God, man. You know, we can't have any type of idols. That's why I said the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money itself, but the love of it and the pursuit of it. Because once you love it, you put anything before God. It's an idol. That means you worship it. And worshiping is a way for us to have relations and a great connection with God. And I just feel like, you know, these things can come against us, man, in the long run. Remember, Satan is a deceiver. But it's your boy Young Lee Jr. here. I don't want to have this video too long, but this is on my heart, man, because I like Charlemagne, man. I really do. I really do, man. And it's a black man that's successful, and he has a big voice, believe it or not, regardless if people like him or not, man. And he gives that celebrity news, man. And sometimes he gives celebrities advice. He did a Kanye West interview. I mean, a lot of respect, man. But we'll just see. My main concern, just want him, thought I heard something. Oh, that's just a bird. Okay. Yeah, but my main concern is just don't want him being fired from the Breakfast Club. But this your boy Young Lee Jr. You guys continue to like, comment, subscribe. How you guys feel about this? Link in the description box, man. Y'all guys share, comment, like, and subscribe. Let's have a discussion on this, man. Should Charlemagne the God be fired from the Breakfast Club? Is he wrong for what he's done? Or is past catching up to him? I'm out. Deuces.